I'm here with Davy from Enfocus. I mean, to be honest, Enfocus is one of the companies that have been, I think you were maybe the first company that was in the software industry featured on English TV.
Yeah.
And every time we have the opportunity, we want to learn something. So Davy, before we learn about the product, let's learn a little bit about you. You are the, what's it called, the product manager for Switch?
Product manager for Switch and also for PDF Review.
Okay.
Brand new, just actually joined the company 6 months ago.
So you have never seen it before?
Of course, I've already seen it before, already for years. I already.
Did you work as a customer with using Switch?
Well, in different, not as a customer, but more, for example, as a solution partner.
Oh, okay. So you have been like consultant for printing companies?
No, I actually worked at Fujifilm.
Okay.
Fujifilm, we also started integration with XMF and Enfocus Switch as well. And in my previous company, I worked at an ERP system, data line, Multipress.
Oh, okay, so you have that experience.
And we created also a app for that, an app for the integration of Switch as well, to automate your businesses actually in the end.
The reason I'm asking this is just because I think that if you think of working with software, I mean, it's always difficult to, you know, if you have the elevator pitch about Switch, it's like you have to have a very, very tall building, right? Because it can do so many things, right?
That is the problem actually, that it can do too much. In the end, for example, we need to fine-tune it to the customer's needs. And we need to identify the customer's needs first.
Yeah.
There's customer needs and there's business needs. Needs that, for example, every business in the wide format needs. And that's also then why we actually created that solution package to actually show what automation can do for a wide format industry. And show actually really what the solution can be for their company.
And it's funny you mentioned that because I can't remember, it was probably not FESPA at 2000 in Amsterdam, but maybe the FESPA before. I remember one person said, I can't remember who, but one person said to me that the automation in both in packaging, but also in this segment of the FESPA segment was not as much as you see from commercial printing, and that is exactly what you're talking about. So now we see large machines and we see a growing demand for things. So of course there's also a growing demand for automation, right?
Yeah, very growing demand for automation. Certainly if you want to continue growing your business and being able to handle more jobs with actually also less staff, because the technical staff is actually, the pool of technical staff is getting lower and lower. It's very hard to find very technical trained staff. And that's also something that we need to lower the bar a little bit in automation by actually using functionalities that can be easily used by everybody in the company. And just by defining a job, for example, what is a job all about? Is it the beach flag? Is it the banner? Which kind of finishing? How many quantities? What is the finished size? That can be translated automatically in automation. Great.
Now I will ask you the question that you have heard 1 million times. My business is so difficult because we have so many unique products. It is impossible to automate.
But if it's so difficult, why do we have those key people that understand the business?
You got me already, right?
That information, that knowledge has to be translated. So we need to do an effort. Of course, in every new automation process, there is an effort that is needed. And the effort is to translate the knowledge into your automation system. And that is something that you need to do one time. And of course, you need to maintain it. And that is a small investment to do, and an investment in time. And nobody has time anymore. But that small investment in time can actually give you a lot of benefits and also can generate more business, more jobs, less complaints, and more productivity as well.
When you have worked on both with Fujifilm and also Multidata?
Multipress.
Sorry. When you have been working on the software side with ERP and also on the hardware side with Fujifilm, I was just thinking that the experience you have got from these companies and the experience you have from talking to customers, would you say that to maximize your automation potential, that a company can do it themselves, or will they always need to have people either dedicated or consultants doing it?
It's hard to find also, for example, IT skilled people in every individual company. The goal is actually to guide your customer. And the most important thing is to find a starting point. Because everybody wants to start with automation. If you actually
it's also a buzzword these years, right?
It is a very huge buzzword. And defining automation is another thing as well. You can have automation in your machine, you can have automation in individual software. For us, automation is actually the connection between these individual pieces. Let them talk to each other. Every individual software and hardware is best in their own thing. actually communicating with each other is actually making them a big whole, actually, to actually make them a big productive environment in the end. And of course, for example, you have bigger companies that have actually the resources, or an IT guy or whatever, that can focus actually on that automation. We have smaller customers that do not have those resources. And in that case, for example, that's why we bring out solutions, solutions that answer a business problem.
So you basically can say that, I mean, also you have the App Store in Switch. So basically that means that for your particular application, for your particular set of customers, you can sometimes have something that is a little bit more tailored already when you invest in it.
Well, it's a starting point. Like I said, for example, everybody wants to start with automation. But if you ask the question, for example, what do you want to automate? I don't know.
I have no idea.
And that's why, for example, we start with job onboarding. Job onboarding, we developed a flow, we developed a solution that we actually can install tomorrow at a customer, where they can actually start with job onboarding. And job onboarding in the white format industry is very important.
Yeah, because I mean, you often have something that is relatively costly, and it is often one-off orders or smaller orders, so you have a lot of orders. I was just thinking that one of the things that probably help both Enfocus but also customers in general is that when everybody's now talking about IoT and you have devices with sensors and communication protocols, I mean, I take that you can take those data into the automation
that
flow.
is also
and learn from
already
it, right?
the next step as well. For example, if they generate data and if we can capture the data, we can do something with the data. And that's, for example, we see in a lot of machines as well. If you talk to Durst, if you talk to HP, EFI, those machine manufacturers, they capture data. What do you do with that data is the most important thing. For example, they capture the data on ink consumption. They've captured the data on how many square meters or linear meters of media that has been used. Why not use that to capture all the data in a centralized dashboard and maybe connect it to your stock management or your purchase management? If the machine tells you you're running low on ink or on substrate.
Maybe the answer is that sometimes the more data you have, the more clear it becomes, like which manufacturing machine is better working with from a financial perspective, right?
It can also be used in that way, of course.
And that saving can basically pay for the Enfocus Switch solution, right?
As well.
We're going to talk more, but you have a little pre-recorded demo here that you basically want to talk over for a second so we can see something here, right?
Yeah, of course.
So take it away, my friend.
Thank you. This is actually an introduction to job onboarding. And in job onboarding, for example, what is needed, if you actually sell a product to a customer, you need to actually obtain the files. Because the turnover time, for example, the production time, is very short production time. A lot of orders need to be produced in 1 or 2 days. So that means that you need to get the files from the customers very fast and in an organized and structured way.
And is that what it shows here? Or?
Here, for example, the software itself, the solution itself, it's a standalone package. So in this case, for example, the user, and the user is anybody in the company,
be me, for example,
could be you as well, defines... defines, for example, what is the product.
We take it down to the media layer here, right? Okay, fantastic.
Defines what what is the product that has been sold. In this case, for example, it's a beach flag. Who is the customer? And they just press the submit button, and that's it. That's the only thing that they need to do.
Nothing more.
The job onboarding process has started, so that means we do a connection, in this case, with Google Drive. It will create a folder structure on Google Drive and a shared link. It will email that to the customer directly. The customer just needs to click on the link where he can upload the file.
And get that information
which
is needed.
Indeed.
And now it comes into the Switch?
Now it goes into Switch. This is a predefined flow that we can install at a customer tomorrow if we want. It also generates a job ticket, and it stores that job ticket information. And it stores that job ticket information on a database. Very expensive Word database. But in this solution, we use Google Sheets as a database. So we store that information on Google Sheets, and we will pull back the information when needed, when the customer is supplying the file. In this case, for example, the customer has received the file, and because it's a beach flag, he also received a template, because maybe he needs to put his artwork into that template.
Okay, so you basically automate the process from when a customer has whatever need on something that is to some extent predefined, then you basically can automate the process of sending the templates and
like this,
there we go. That's amazing. Yeah.
And the correct template, of course.
Yes, and you know, when I see this, and I just think back on my time when I was a print broker and I worked in a printing company. I mean, this is a shitload of work going into this, right? And it is work that doesn't actually add value to the process itself. So here you can automate with a lot of benefits, right?
It's eliminating the technical aspect. For example, I'm selling a beach flag. That is the type of beach flag I'm selling. That is the size. Okay, which kind of template do I need to send to my customer? You need to know that. You need to have that technical education to be able to do that. Just by defining the product, we've done it for you. And it's automatically picked up the correct template and sent that to the customer.
Now you have like you show a flow here that is, you said that you can install it at any switch solution. I was just wondering, so let's say that people get started with the onboarding and then they have this switch solution to automate it. How much customization do you need to do in order to make something that is, you know, output job and shipping labels and invoicing and get money in the bank?
That's another level, of course, but again, we come back to the question to ask a wide format company, what do you want to automate? And they want to automate.
And here we got the, sorry, I just saw the
pre-flighting embedded as well. Well, I'm going to come back to that in a minute, but the biggest question in wide format is they want to have automation, but they do not know what they want to automate. And start with a simple process as job onboarding. This is a flow that you can install tomorrow. Everything that we demonstrate can be done at your production company tomorrow, but can be fine-tuned to your needs. It is a starting point. So if you want to start with automation, you can comfortably start with this. And then expand your automation to shipping labels, to automatic invoicing, to whatever that you want.
Do you think that automation, I mean, we spoke about that it's a buzzword, right?
Yeah, it's a very
but do you think there's also a kind of a fear factor in pricing? Because it's like, because when you start, you need to have the software, you need to have the skills, you need to learn your own company, there's a lot of things, so do you think that kind of fear for investing in it because you never know where you end?
No, and this solution, no, because you know for example, where you start. You never know where you're going to end. And that's the fun part of it. You already can start automating your business tomorrow with specific things, like for example, job onboarding, because job onboarding costs a lot of money.
And here it's obvious that it gives advantages to the customer, to the printing company, and to the process.
Immediately. The ROI is on this, for example, if you install a system, that process will already be automated. You do not have to chase your customers anymore every 15 minutes and call them, where's my file, where's my file? Did you already send that link? Did we already receive it? Because here, for example, in our job boards...
So that is like a swim lane.
This is a swim lane, for example. Here in the job boards, we can see exactly, for example, what we need to focus on, what we actually already are awaiting approval, if we are already send it to production, and also it still gives you a level of control. The biggest problem with automation is also a kind of change management. Not only at the boss, but also at the employees, your colleagues that need to work with it. The problem is it's such a difficult business, there's a lot of variables, you cannot automate my business. And they fear
that was why I was
control.
Making the joke with you before, because I mean, you sometimes hear that customers are talking about, oh, we're so unique that we can't be automated, right? But now you gave an example that actually every process that can be automated from onboarding, that does not have anything to do with how special your products are. It's more about defining the product.
Indeed. And it's also the fear of losing control. The advantage that we have with our job boards is that we implemented checkpoints. Checkpoints that, for example...
So they stop the process.
Indeed. It requires attention of a user. Of course, we can automate everything in the background. That's not a problem. But the user wants to stay in control. They need to check, for example, what is the pre-flight result? What is the mock-up result? Is there enough margin that has been generated? Is this the correct definition of the product, yes or no? So these checkpoints allow the user to actually check if everything is okay, and then actually continue with the process, creating the mock-ups, doing the approval process, preparing everything for production. So they allow a level of control in the level of automation, and that is also very important on a human level, of course.
One of the things I spoke to Thomas yesterday, 2 days ago, was because we spoke about the change of logo and how you appear in the market, and basically, and it just got to mind because you're showing the depth of automation with Switch, and that is basically also because now automation with Switch is not just limited to our industry, because you can basically use it for many other industries as well, because the process itself is more like, is it defining a sequence of...
well, the change of logo is also, for example, connected to our Beyond strategy. But if we look at our products, if we look at Pitstop, if we look at PDF Review, Connect, Boarding Pass, and also Switch, for example, they are heavily used in the pre-press department.
Of course, and you want to...
So the first level of Beyond is, why do you not use Switch in other departments of your company for business automation? Like, for example, the synchronization of CRM data with marketing tools, the automatic generation and communication of offers, the automatic creation of jobs, the automatic creation of invoices, labels, shipping labels, and those kind of things. These are also processes in your business that you can automate. And of course, then you have other industry. For us, for example, white format is not new. But it's an industry where we're not so well known. But it's not new to us. We're already 25 years in the business, so it's not new for us. But we're not so known in the industry, and certainly about automation. But then, for example, you can go to advertising agencies, maybe, for example, internal production companies in-house or in printing, or what do you call it, the implants, for example, as well. But also every company has a marketing department.
But it comes down to some of the things I always talk to also your colleagues about, is that the potential of Enfocus product is way beyond where you are today, right? And I just think that when you show this as a really simple but really advanced piece of software, I mean, everybody who sees it should be, wow, we need to get that kind of thing, right? So I just have another question, which is not related to this, but when you said multipress, didn't we do a webinar some years ago? I thought so, because
we done a webinar with the integration that we've done with Presero.
That is
as well, and with B2B.
That's right,
B2B
because I just, when I saw your name, I thought, okay, I know you, and then I'm sitting down, because what I like about you is that you have an extremely good knowledge, and you have really good passion about what you show. So I really hope this little video also will support your mission.
Yeah, of course. We'll
so we will have to go to the next one. So I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
I know you were thrown into it, but it was fun anyway.
No problem.
Okay, great.
Happy to help.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
This was Davy from Enfocus. As I just mentioned, I met him when he was working in another company some years ago during the COVID, so this is the first time we meet in person, I think. And it's been fun. See, this is a learning experience, right? And that is what English is all about. We want to show you things, we want to give you some opportunities to learn from the best, and Davy is absolutely one of them. Sorry. And I don't know what's happening with me, but it's not good. But now I know that we're going to the next show here in the next 5 minutes. I can't remember with who, but it's here in Hall 25. So stay tuned.